I sensed something was off the instant the door refused to open fully, just enough for my parents to slip out and block the entrance like guards hiding something they were ashamed to let me see. A rush of cold air hit my skin. My father avoided my gaze. My mother didn't. She held it only long enough to deliver the verdict. You're not invited. Go home. For a heartbeat, I waited for the punchline. But then I heard it, laughter drifting from inside, warm and unmistakable. My sister's giggle, my uncle's booming laugh, even Noah's voice, my closest friend, the one who claimed he'd be out of town. All of them there, without me. The porch light buzzed above them, flickering like it felt guilty. I couldn't tell if I felt absolutely nothing or every emotion crashing together. Betrayal has a way of freezing your insides until you can't distinguish the two. I just nodded, turned back to my car, and dialed one number. By the time my phone vibrated 20 minutes later, the screaming inside that house had already started. Pause that moment. Hold it up like a blade suspended in the air, because everything before it had been the quiet setup. Even weeks before Thanksgiving, something in the air had shifted, like they were all rehearsing for a show I hadn't been cast in. Conversation stopped when I walked in. Smiles strained. Phones flipped over. My mother's eyes lingered on me, as though waiting for a confession I didn't owe. My sister no longer laughed at my jokes. My dad checked the time every time we talked. And Noah, he'd started leaving me on read. Him, of all people. He couldn't stand seeing unread notifications. There was a hush under every word they spoke, an intentional carefulness, a shared secret with one missing participant. Me. I wasn't angry. Not then. Suspicion sprouts quietly, like a seed buried in darkness. Looking back, I almost laugh at how much I trusted them. I'd always been their dependable one. The fixer, the one who handled the chaos without complaint. I repaired the garage door, negotiated my sister's tuition, found my mother's lost wedding ring in the garden. They boasted about me in public, then treated me as optional when no one was watching. And Noah, he'd been my shadow since middle school, once told me, if everyone else vanished, you're the one I'd keep. Turns out he meant it literally. Everyone else got to stay. I was the one erased. But betrayal doesn't show up like thunder. It seeps in, one forgotten invitation, one hushed conversation behind a closed door. Tiny signs I ignored at the time. The clues collected themselves slowly. A text from my sister meant for Noah instead of me. He has no idea. This is going to be perfect. A list in my mother's handwriting. 25 guests accounted for. 25 minus 1. A voicemail from my uncle asking Noah if he'd told me about the plan. And then the worst. Someone who still cared enough forwarded me a screenshot from Noah's phone. A new family group chat. One I wasn't in. Their messages. Don't tell him. He'll make it awkward. Let's enjoy one holiday without him. My mother. He's too much lately. Let's have peace for once. Peace without me. My heart hardened around the hurt, forming armor on instinct. I didn't confront them. I simply stopped expecting anything from people who'd never intended to give. Revenge doesn't need volume. It only needs accuracy. Weeks before all this, I discovered something else. My parents were drowning in money problems they'd kept hidden. They'd open credit lines under my name, assuming I'd never look. I did. I gathered documents, screenshots, recordings, quietly. And Noah, his little side hustle, the one he bragged, was off the books. Turned out it wasn't off mine. I traced his transactions and connected them to someone he should have never involved himself with, someone who owed me a favor. I didn't need violence. I needed precision. So the night they shut the door on me, the night they laughed as if I'd never existed, I made the calls to the bank, to the investigator, to Noah's partner. A silent 3-part strike set into motion. 20 minutes later, my mother called first, voice cracking. What did you do? They froze our accounts. Everything. Screaming erupted behind her, chairs scraping, my father shouting my name like it was venom. Then Noah called. I answered only to hear it. You ruined me, he choked. They're auditing me. My partner bailed. Why would you lie? My voice stayed calm, steady, deliberate. You all wanted one holiday without me, I said. I gave you something better. Silence. Then the realization hit him, hard. You planned this? No, he whispered. You did. I just paid attention. After that night, none of them reached out again. Not from anger, from fear. Amazing how fast love turns cautious once people realize you're not the fool they assumed. A move to another state, build a life around people who understand loyalty isn't seasonal. And every Thanksgiving since, I cook alone, quiet, peaceful, untouched. There's strength in silence, in watching, in waiting for the right moment to act. They taught me that. I merely refined it. And the truth is, once you see who your family truly is, you stop grieving the loss. You start celebrating the escape.